This is now the 4th time that I am attempting to go live without the signal dropping. I've made some adjustments. We'll see how it goes. We will clear the energy. Please like this video or this live, share it, comment, ask any questions you may have. I'm just going to jump right into some psychic intelligence training. Please watch the live or until the end or catch the replay. I'm really wanting to monetize this channel before January 2027, and I need like 3,500 watch time hours. I have no idea how I'm going to make that happen. And the shorts don't count, and that's literally what most of my content is. Or I have to get 10 million views in a 90-day period on the shorts, which, I mean, I guess Source is capable of making that happen. Okay, so we're going to use the Uno cards right now. So how these psychic development tests are going to go is, look, okay, so it's never going to be a card like this. The reverse, it's never going to be a card like that. I don't do testing with the reverse cards or that kind of card, or the like Joker kind of cards. So like all four, like these, the wild cards. That will never be the answer either. There are only 4 colors in Uno. And the reason that I'm telling you this, not to make it easier, this is to help you develop. You have to build confidence. That is the name of the game. The reason that you don't trust your core operating system of intuitive psychic intelligence is because your mind has been programmed to demonize it. Your mind has been programmed to work against it. So you have to build confidence, and you build confidence from proof. And these tests are designed to where you're going to prove it to yourself. And I want you to start paying attention to how your mind is going to try to discredit your experience and tell you, oh, that didn't count. That doesn't matter. Then it's going to come up with all this shit to try to stay in control. When the goal is to have this be in the back seat in your core operating system of intuition and psychic intelligence, to be leading and helping you and in alignment with your true purpose and your true life, not the conditioning that you've been told how you're supposed to be doing things, which is total bullshit. Hi, Rami. I have a very good friend named Rami that I grew up with. So I love your name. But hello. Yes, please. I don't know how you like these. I don't know how YouTube lives work. If you're like, if you can tap the screen and like it, or if you're giving it a thumbs up, whatever you can do to support the channel would be amazing. I'm originally from Cincinnati, Ohio. That's where I was born and raised until I was a teenager. Then I started moving around. How about you? Hello, Rashawn Kumar. Hello, Jaimez. Where are you from? Where are you guys from? Well, I figure this out right here. We're doing pretty good so far. Do I know Algeria? I know that it's in Africa, but I've never been there. Is that where you are? Algeria? That's far away. I'd like to go to Africa someday. I think Algeria is in Africa, right? behind Morocco. Nice. And Morocco you can get to easily from Portugal. I know that. I'd like to go to Morocco too. I heard that's a pretty cool place. I love the music. Moroccan music. Oh my gosh. Algeria. It's so cool how we can connect from all over the world. I love that. Excuse me, my nose has been running. Okay, so listen. There are only 4 colors in Uno. Red, blue, yellow, and green. So the answer is going to be one of those 4 colors. I tell you this so you can really hone in on the information. If the tests are too hard, it's just not useful. Not until you're like advanced, then take on some shit like that. We're starting at the beginning. You need to build confidence. And this is how you do it. So, red, yellow, blue, or green. So, what I want you to do, what I want you to do right now is acknowledge what I just said. Tell your inner guidance system, and the way that you do that is you just think to yourself or say to yourself on the inside, you could say it out loud, whatever, just tell yourself, okay, inner guidance system, we're working with the colors red, yellow, blue, or green. Right now, we're going to focus on the colors of the cards, not the numbers. Okay. So, don't get ahead of yourself, Rami. Listen. What is the color on the other side of the card that I'm holding? Now listen. You have to ask the question. Ask me if I was in the room with you. Ask your guides. Ask God. Ask Source, angels, something, not something demonic. We're not working with dark energies. Everything I work with is in the light, period. I do not suggest starting to ask weird shit for this information. It is not advised. Asking me as if I'm in the room with you, people have a lot of success with that because my energy will answer you immediately, especially if you look into my eyes. It is important that you ask and then observe. You ask to put yourself in observation mode, to where you are in a state of observation, not in a state of active creation. The mind will actively guess, actively create the answer off of logic. That's not what we're doing here. We are asking the question and then scanning our awareness for information to come through. It's very fast moving information. It comes before the mind has a chance to catch up. The information is going to come through like phew, and then the mind is going to say something different. And then the mind is going to start arguing. If you catch the fast moving information, then the mind will kick in and it'll start arguing with the information that was given to you. The intuitive information is a matter of fact. It's simple truth. It's quiet. It's fast. It's not argumentative, and it's not using logic. Yes, baby. A guess is a function of the mind. We are working with psychic awareness in your core operating system down here that is not attached to the mind. The mind is a computer. You have a much more intelligent all-knowing system within you that doesn't guess. It gives you the answer that you ask for, but you have to know how to listen. What color is on the other side of this card? Look into my eyes and ask me as if I was in the room with you. And then listen telepathically for the answer. All right, it's yellow. Now, this is important because with this work, when you're beginning and always, you have to take what you know, apply it to what you don't know, and figure it out. So can you look back to when you were doing the exercise and see where the yellow answer came into your awareness, but then whatever answer you chose came into your awareness also, and you decided to go with that instead of what was received? And the reason that these are wrong answers is because you're guessing, and the mind is guessing. We're not doing guessing mind tricks. We are doing psychic development. Psychic information isn't received from the mind. The mind is a conditioned computer full of information, brainwashing, conditioning from your education, logical, critical thinking. That's what its function is. It isn't what is supposed to be leading your life. It is conditioned and programmed to operate a certain way and spit out answers from computing. Psychic information is received from beyond the mind through many different ways, but it's from down in this area. Now, when you get good at this shit, you can use your mind as a secondary tool to complement the intuitive information, but first you've got to get clear on what your mind sounds like, works like, functions like, all of that shit. So you are very clear on how to bypass it and just not listen to it, because it's going to try and stop you. It's going to try and take over. It's going to try and protect you based off of the conditioning, based off of your core belief systems that you've been brainwashed with, that are in battle with what your intuitive system is actually trying to guide you towards, which is what what you're meant to be guided by, not by the conditioning of parents, religion, how you were raised, how people told you you're supposed to act. That shit, living from up in the mind, creates a life of constant battle against yourself. It's the heart at conflict with the mind, which creates a psychotic experience. If you're never happy, it's because you're basing your decisions off of what others told you you're supposed to be doing, which is it's like the complete opposite of what your heart is leading you to do. But you're not going with where your heart is leading you, which is your core operating system. You're going with what your mind is saying because you're too afraid to live in alignment with your heart because of shit that comes along with standing up for yourself and doing what you want, not what other people want you to be doing. All right, let's move on to another card. Next, what colors on the other side of this card? I urge you to focus on the colors right now. Place yourself in observation mode by asking yourself the question. If you don't ask your mind, ask your core operating system. If you don't trust that, then ask the angels. Ask me as if I was in the room with you. Ask your interpretation of God. Ask your guides. Guides are really good at answering. Don't ask your mind, because your mind isn't going to know. Okay. Anybody else? Want to put their answer in? It was red. Good job. One of you got it correct. Now, for those of you who didn't get it correct, are you able to look back, reflect on what we just did, and are you able to see where the information of red came through, but you decided to go with something else? Are you able to see the argument between the mind? The intuitive information comes through before the mind can catch up. It's fast. It's coming through before I'm even done talking. It's fast. And then the mind will kick in. No, it's great. And the mind is like very cynical, kind of argumentative, judgmental, kind of like a smart ass. The intuitive information is very matter of fact, mostly one word. It'll just be red. And it's very just like quiet truth. No of this bullshit, cynical, judgmental stuff. That's the mind. But good job. So let me know. Let me know in the comments. Are you able to start to see the difference of the two? If not, set an intention with yourself to be given that awareness. So just right now to yourself, say, okay, I intend and want and I command to be shown the difference between the intuitive information coming through and the mind. You command these things. You are in control of all of this. Your mind wants to be in control, and it is out of control until you get control of that shit. And it is back there when this is running the show. You, the creator. Right now we're focusing on colors. If you would like to ask yourself the number 2, go ahead. I'm just starting out simple here, so sometimes the color and number, and then if a person gets the color but not the number, then people tend to not think that it's good enough, and the mind starts to sneak in there and be like, oh, well, I got the color but not the number, so that doesn't mean anything, when in actuality, yes, it fucking does. So your mind's gonna try and discredit your experience to try and keep control. Okay, so I went over this, and I'm telling you the color options because you have to start small. Have to start small and then build. The color options are blue, green, red, or yellow. And if you're going to go into the number aspect of things, it's only numbers. There's no wild cards. There's no reverse Unos. There's no miss a turn. It's just the colors and the numbers. Okay. What color is on the other side of this card? And if you want to ask the number 2, have at it. And know that us having this interaction right now and me speaking, This information right here is now imprinted into the energy grid. So the information is available to be retrieved no matter when. So like this live will be, the replay will be reposted. So the people that watch the replay, they're going to be able to tap in and grab onto the information because it's there. It's been created. It's there forever. Colors on the other side of this card. Ask me as if I was in the room with you. Say to yourself or out loud, Lindsey, what color are you looking at on the other side of this card? And then what comes? All right, I'm about to reveal. Give it a go with the number too. So ask a separate question. What number is on the card Lindsey is holding? The numbers are 0 through 9. What number is on the card Lindsey is holding? Guides. Guides. Spirit guides. What number is on the card Lindsey is holding? X, 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 X. Z5B, you're on a roll. Good job. So, how are you receiving the information? XX. Z5B. Because you're doing really, really well. How are you receiving the information? Are you able to articulate that? Perfect. So, right. I know that it seems like you're asking me in the mind, and I guess that is one way that you're asking me telepathically. You're asking for the information, in which I know it seems like the mind, I guess that is kind of using the mind to talk to people telepathically. You're creating the sentences, you're formulating the sentences from the mind. So I'll give you that. The information is then being received. Are you hearing it? Are you hearing it telepathically? Or is it just coming to you? Are you seeing it in your imagination? Or do you just know? Okay, so Voices of the Orchard. You changed from blue to green, okay? The blue information came in first, and then your mind kicked in and second guessed and said, no, it's green. So now see how the mind kicked in second. The intuitive information came in first. Start paying attention to that, because it's very important to get very clear on how the mind functions, what it sounds like, how it delivers the information, so you can just start bypassing it. You just kind of start, you get real good at not even giving it a chance to start with its bullshit. And even if it does start with its bullshit, you know to ignore it. This guy says, man, people really need to get help. Make asylums great again. You know what I have to say to that? You are the one that needs to be in the asylum. That's all I'm saying. Make asylums great again for people like you. Because if you're operating out of that mind that's been brainwashed by, I'm sure, some crazy ass evil religion that has you says hateful shit like that, when you really have no idea what you're talking about, because you're just repeating shit that other people have told you to say and told you how to think. Maybe dare to think for yourself and not just repeat shit the patriarchy and the education systems and the religions have brainwashed you to think and say. Dare to think for yourself. And you may need an asylum to figure that out. That's all I'm saying. All right. Instant after you ask. Right. That's how it should be. All right. Here we go. All right. That's a 2+ card, so I'm not using those because it's too confusing. Okay. What color is on the other side of this card? Place yourself in observation mode by asking God, your understanding of God or source, the angels, if you trust a certain goddess or deity, if you, you know, have a connection with your spirit guides. Guides are a great source of providing you information that you seek. Or you can ask me as if I was in the room with you, because I kind of am. And I suggest focusing on my eyes, because the eyes, even working with photos, you can see a lot through looking through someone's eyes and asking the question. And you have my permission to do that. Connect to my energy and ask the question. And then you can even, so much as your third eye vision, which is also your imagination. We've been taught that our imagination is just to create stories and shit, when in actuality, it's your third eye vision. It is remote viewing. It is so many different things. Request to connect to my energy. Just in the way that you do that, you're commanding your system like it's a computer or a program. Connect to Lindsey's energy. Just say that to yourself, within yourself or out loud. And then ask to be shown through your imagination what I'm looking at. And then pay attention to what comes in. Okay, now, what number? What number? Lindsey, what number are you looking at? I request to see, I command to see through Lindsey's eyes, what number is she looking at? And then pay attention to what comes in. All right, I'm about to reveal. It's red 7. I'm so proud of you guys. I mean, the red, I mean, can you guys reflect back and see, did the 7 come through, but you decided to go with something else? Because that information is important also. Even when you get this stuff wrong, the information is important because it's all telling you something. It's all telling you something leading to your growth and more fine-tuning, more leading to technique on command, an absolute disconnection from the mind, and only picking it up and using it as a secondary tool when you need to. You don't need it unless you need it for something it's useful for, like looking into the past for or directions or knowledge or creating processes. Like, you know, it's useful for a bunch of shit, but it's not useful when retrieving psychic information, because it's not coming from there. It doesn't know how to operate that way because it is not its job. Oh my gosh, you guys, I love to do this. I love to read the messages that are held for review because they're always just so ridiculous. So Let's have fun for a second. Take a little break. All right, this one says, LOL, okay, lady, or maybe we should go back to witch hunts. Patriarchy is great. Those weren't witch hunts. Those were men murdering women. Don't get confused. Witch hunts. Shit, I'd like to see a motherfucker try. Ha! You'd be the hunted. Oh, here we go. Yep, I conned to your energy and found out you're retarded. Oh my God. Okay, so we're dealing with like, this person might not even be 18. Oh my God. I'm probably gonna have to kick him out. I connected to your energy and it told me you're retarded. Oh, now they're repeating themselves. Okay. This is why we need patriarchy. Oh, man. I feel sorry for this guy. Okay, all right. I'm not going to kick him out, though. He might fucking learn something. I doubt it, but... Okay. Moving on. Let's see. Do you guys want to keep going with the hello a Turkimi? I know I didn't say the word. A Turkimi 8626. Oh, you're saying yellow for the next one? Let's see. I'm shuffling and I'm just gonna cut and see. I hope so. No, but no, damn. No. Don't get ahead of yourself. Don't rush is what I'm saying. All right, let's see here. Yep. Okay. What color and or number, if you want to go into doing the numbers, but I mean, just ask, be like, what color and number is Lindsay looking at? And then see what comes through. Pay attention to what your imagination shows you. That's one way. There's so many ways. And it's really up to you to figure out what ways in which are really easy for you, that come naturally. And then more are gonna come. There's just, I don't like to put things into boxes because I think it's important for people to figure those things out themselves, so they're not like trying to use somebody else's ways in which receiving, because it can be personal to everybody. There's ways in which other people, everybody else receives information that I don't. And to be honest, I'm not really concerned with how other people receive that information, because it's perfect. It's personal and authentic to them, and that is important. It's important for you not to be being told things. Otherwise it would just be like the what is the word? Patriarchal? Whatever. You guys know what I'm saying. Otherwise it would just be like the brainwash. People telling you how to think. People telling you how to do things. People telling you and putting you in boxes, telling you how to think. No, you need to have that experience and develop it the way that's best for you. So it's important to explore and let your own system show you those things. Okay. Color and or number. Ask your guides, even if you don't know what that is. guides of the highest integrity, anchored in pure love and light. Ask those guides. Ask your guides that have your highest good and healing, that work for your highest good and healing. What color and number are on the card Lindsay's looking at? Okay, you guys ready? Blue 9. Now, those of you who didn't get it correct, are you able to reflect back and see where any of this information possibly did come through and came to you, but you decided to go another way? If so, next time, go with the way in which this information came through, but you decided to listen to your mind, which is what it is. Listen to your mind instead, which is normal because this is a whole new way of operating. At first, you're going to be second guessing things. It's going to be like that until you get real clear on how your mind is full of shit and it's just spitting out answers that it has no idea what it's talking about. You'll start to see that, which is why it's good to pay attention and reflect even if you get it wrong. Okay. Yeah, you probably just got confused or something. And you know what? Not every time. Don't expect yourself to every time get the answers correct. You know, this isn't like once you're good at it every time. I get shit wrong too. Still, I've been doing this forever. It's like, you know, I mean, we are experiencing the human condition. We are in human bodies and we are subject to the human condition. The human condition is flawed. So it's not always going to be right regardless of how advanced you are. If the practitioner or the teacher is honest, they will tell you that. You get shit wrong all the time. I still get confused. It's just the way that it is. But it's gotten a lot, I mean, better. No, I do not believe eating meat is bad for this skill. I don't buy into that stuff, no. There are people out there, the guru type people, who are going to tell you that to try and get your money or try to get you to be brainwashed in another certain way. Everyone is different. I have type O negative blood. We're like supposed to eat meat and high protein, which I really don't eat that much meat and high protein just because I'm afraid of the meat in this country. But I still do eat it when I feel like I need it, and it has nothing to do with my connection with source and my core operating system. No, but it can have an effect on you if your brain is brainwashed to think that way, and then it's going to override your core operating system of intuitive intelligence, and you're going to create that reality for yourself. So just be aware of that. Mostly people pushing agendas like that are, I would advise not getting involved with people like that because they're out of alignment. It may be true for them because that's their belief system, but that does not mean that is the way it is for everyone. And it's not gonna, I mean, just to give you an example, I was on the street using heroin and meth for 25 years until 6 years ago. I had to get to the outskirts of society and completely numb myself out completely and not give a fuck about what anybody thought or, thought of me, or listen to anybody's shit in order to get to my core and find this information. And once I knew that I was a medium, which I figured out in the depths of addiction, I finally knew I had to get off drugs, which it took me 2 years from that point. So your core operating system is your core operating system. It cannot be taken from you. It can be overridden if you don't know the difference and you're listening to the brainwash and the conditioning. That's it. It can't be taken, and it's not affected by the food you eat or the drugs you take, or nothing can stop it. It's there. It's yours. But the mind can block it if you don't know the difference. If you don't know that you're not your mind. Which is how that it's like the minds have been brainwashed to control the masses. The religions, the real evil religions, have pushed this agenda that psychics are talking to demons, that psychics are demons, that, all this shit, when really they are the demon. They are creating a narrative to point you and push you against yourself. That is how they keep you under control. That is how they keep you scared of your own system, pushing you away from your own power so they have power over you. It's really that simple. And your chakras don't have to be in alignment. You don't have to be eating certain foods. It's like all of these things people come up with to try and get your money. They're just trying to create another thing to get your money. And then anyone who gets into the state of people worshiping them or being looked at as a guru, stay away from those people. It's toxic. You should not be worshiping anyone or anything. All right, next. I did go to the underworld to do program. I've been through a lot of shit. Well, yeah, I mean, you can say that. I've been a Reiki practitioner, a Yusui Reiki practitioner for 20 years. So I was doing Reiki. I was a master level for 13 years. And I was doing Reiki in the midst of addiction with my own spin on things. I was an escort. I worked for myself, escorting to provide money for my addiction, but I was doing Reiki also, and I started having these psychic experiences while I was doing Reiki on my clients. And so when I was connecting, I started having these children show up. I would hear, "Connect with ascended children." And I had this one experience with this guy that just to be transparent, I was doing like naked Reiki. Like I was doing massages, but I was naked, but I was actually doing Reiki while I was giving the massages. So I was legit going through my Reiki process and doing it. And I started having all these mediumship experiences. And I asked this guy, I was like, "Do you have children who have passed?" And I was like children, not one, and like plural too. And he was like, "Why are you asking me that?" And I was like, "Because I have these children here." They said, "Connect to ascended children." And he said, a long time ago, he was in like his 50s. And he said a long time ago, when he was like 18 or 19, he had a pregnant, I'm not sure if it was his wife or not, a pregnant, we'll just say his wife. His wife was pregnant with twins, and they got in a car accident, and they all died. So these babies that were unborn were showing up for this guy for this Reiki session with me. So I started having, profound experiences. And then it just got stronger and stronger from there until I had so much proof, which I had proof for years and years and years and years and years. But my mind kept discrediting my experience. I would chalk it up to, oh, that's my grandpa, of course. I could hear him, and and my mind would talk me out of my power every single time until I was working with strangers that I didn't know from nothing, and their passed on loved ones' names are coming out of my mouth, and I'm hearing them telepathically, like they're right there with me. We are perfect as we are. I absolutely agree. All right, let's see. Next. You guys ready? There's only 2 of you in here. But hey, oh, we're not going to use that one. Okay. What color and or number is on the other side of this card? Command to see through my eyes. The way that you do that is you just say to yourself, inside or out loud, I command to connect to Lindsey's energy and see through her eyes what she is looking at. What color is the card and what number is on it? And then pay attention to what information you're given and how. Your imagination is your remote viewing. It is your third eye vision. Hey, Matt. Anybody else? Good job, Matt. 8. Where are you, Matt? Where are you? You said you were far away, but what does that mean? I'm so happy that this service is holding out and I'm not getting Willis Point, Texas. So I came where I'm at now from Austin. Where's Willis Point? What is it near? Willis Point. I've never heard of it. Sounds like it could be out near Houston or some shit. Isn't that towards Houston? What does Canton First Monday mean? Sure, I can share somebody just asked if I can share my story on how I got into Reiki and psychic work. Sure. This Canton, Texas. Oh, there's a Canton, North Carolina